Hello, everyone. A CBC News investigation has uncovered just how little effect the courts are having on the GTA's worst drivers. Our cameras followed people as they left court after having their licenses suspended for various infractions and after the courts made it crystal clear they were not allowed to drive. Our John Lancaster joins us live now to show you what happened next.
Diana, we followed these people from the courthouse to the parking lot, and each and every one of them got back into their car or truck and drove away. Eyes darting around nervously, he leaves the Scarborough court. This man has just lost his license, convicted again of driving under suspension. But is the conviction and yet another driving ban enough to keep him off the road? He hops into his truck, and with one last look around, he makes his decision. He pulls out of the courthouse parking lot. Cameras continue to roll as he heads onto a packed 401. It's rush hour, and little do the drivers around him know he has no license or insurance anymore. It was a scene that played out again and again. This man has 34 driving convictions, 9 separate suspensions. Still, after being convicted, he walks away from the court and straight into his van. It's the same with this man. His license has been taken away, but he's still driving just moments after his day in court. Another example. This man was just convicted of driving without a license, and here he is doing it again.
We've got a couple hundred cars parked in this parking lot, so at least one of them was probably driven by a suspended driver.
Brian Patterson of the Ontario Safety League says 75% of suspended drivers keep driving and are much more likely to cause fatal accidents. He blames current laws.
There's no teeth. I think it's seen as a paper tiger right now. We're counting on the goodwill of somebody who's already suspended to get it the second time.
And back to this man. Despite being ordered twice by a justice of the peace and a Crown attorney not to drive, he's now stopped to refuel. With another look over his shoulder, he's back behind the wheel. We finally approach him as he parks his truck.
I have to drive to work every day, and otherwise I will lose my job.
As for his suspended license,
I have to drive safety, that's all.
Yeah, apparently that's not working so well, John. I mean, if taking the license away isn't working, what can be done that would keep drivers off the road if they don't have a license?
well, the Crowns, the police, everyone involved in this seems to take this very seriously, and they're even asking for more stringent laws, ones that will actually have some enforcement value, things like probation tied to suspended licenses. So if you breach your probation, you could land behind bars. Some Crowns have even been asking for jail sentences for the worst offenders, the worst repeat suspended drivers, but in many cases, they tell me, the courts turn them down. Reporting live, I'm John Lancaster.
And just to give you a sense of just how enormous this problem is right now, in 2008, the Ontario Ministry of Transportation counted a total of almost 267,000 suspended drivers in this province alone. Mothers Against Drunk Driving estimates that up to 75% of those drivers will ignore the suspension and keep on driving. Hello, everyone. There's lots of reaction tonight to our CBC News exclusive. Last night, our John Lancaster showed you what our cameras saw as one suspended driver after another walked out of a Toronto court and then right back behind the wheel, sharing the road with you. Well, John joins us live now to show you who's speaking out tonight.
Diana, what we found was that more than 250,000 Ontario drivers are currently under suspension. Most will continue to drive anyway. Why does it matter? Well, the woman you're about to meet can tell you why. Harriet Kantolinsky would have celebrated her 10th anniversary in December, but life with husband Robert was shattered at the hands of a suspended driver.
Said goodbye, which means so much in a relationship. He was actually hit by a person that was coming down this road at the speed limit, probably. She had a suspended license.
It was 8:15 on a Saturday morning last September. 49-year-old Robert Kantolinsky was out for a jog when he was hit from behind by a car. Police allege the driver was drunk and under suspension. Kantolinsky watched the CBC story yesterday and was appalled that other suspended drivers are on the road.
It makes you sick to your stomach. It makes you feel that it's very frustrating seeing the story of yesterday and like 4 people. I don't understand why that's allowed to happen. It's unacceptable. It's something that it tears your heart apart.
As our CBC News investigation revealed, suspended drivers like this man are flouting the law. He was just convicted for the second time of driving while under suspension. He has a history of unpaid fines for various traffic violations. Just minutes after surrendering his license and being ordered not to drive, he went straight for his truck. Our cameras followed him along the 401. Finally, he stopped for fuel. We caught up with him and asked him, why are you still driving?
I have to drive to work every day, and otherwise I will lose my job.
Ontario has about 267,000 suspended drivers. The province admits 75% will ignore their suspensions and keep on driving. Our cameras picked up many examples of it happening. Drivers who were stripped of their license, leaving court and driving away anyway. Diana, coming up in about 30 minutes from now, an interview with Ontario's Minister of Transportation. She saw our stories last night. She's going to tell us about what changes to the system are coming this fall. That in about 30 minutes. Reporting live, I'm John Lancaster.